Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 11 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got more news from the governor's office about jobs coming to Lenoir County. This time, Electrolux has announced that it will be moving to Lenoir County, expecting to add 74 more jobs to the county with the expansion. The will invest more than $23.7 million to expand its production and manufacturing facilities in Lenoir County. Now, this comes after Governor Stein announced just yesterday that expansions to two manufacturing companies would bring more jobs to Greene County and Lenoir County. Electrolux opened its Lenoir County location in 1989. The expansion will add 30,000 square feet to its existing facility, which manufactures stainless steel tub dishwashers in the U.S. Now, Governor Stein said, quote, "Our state is a great place to do business thanks to our highly skilled manufacturing workforce and the business-friendly climate we have cultivated. I look forward to watching the company continue to grow and thrive in Kinston," end quote. Now, according to a news release, the average annual salary for the new positions will be $48,877, which exceeds Lenoir County's average of $48,683. Now, a performance-based grant of $200,000 from the One North Carolina Fund will help the company's expansion in the state, which provides financial assistance to local governments to help attract economic investment and bring jobs to the area. And it's a sad day for some radio fans out there as John Boy and Billy will be retiring their show. Now, it launched in 1980. The Big Show with John Boy and Billy was a tradition for North Carolinians, entertaining listeners who tuned into the radio during their morning drive. John Boy Isley and Billy James made the surprise announcement on WSFL 106.5. The radio duo said that although they're wrapping up their radio presence, they will be active on other platforms, such as Facebook. Now, the co-host Isley said, quote, "The Big Show will be retiring at the end of the year. I want to thank all the stations that are still carrying us, and I invite you to follow the John Boy and Billy Facebook page. So that's a good way to keep up with us. Go ahead and start now, because you know we're going to do something," end quote. Now, the team expressed their gratitude to those who have tuned in over the years. Now, we also want to turn our attention to the ongoing peace deal ceasefire between Hamas and Israel, as Hamas is continuing to search for remains of missing hostages. NBC's Matt Bradley has more from Tel Aviv.
Well, it's been 3 days since that incredible moment on Monday when we saw 20 living Israeli hostages sent out of the Gaza Strip. The ceasefire in Gaza still holding. About 2,000 Palestinian prisoners in Israeli jails released, including 250 who had been serving life sentences. Now, there have been isolated incidents of Israelis shooting Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, and a lot of internecine fighting between Hamas and other militant groups inside Gaza in the wake of this war that had lasted for 2 years. But now, this situation is getting a little bit more complicated, and this was always inevitable. As this treaty careens into phase 2, there are no details guiding some of the crucial elements of Trump's 20-point plan, including potential disarmament for Hamas, post-Gaza governance, and other issues related to actually long-term thinking that would govern the Gaza Strip from here on out. Now, again, this was something that was always going to happen because the style in which President Trump kind of negotiated this treaty was to move ahead with the ceasefire and with the releases of the prisoners and the hostages without focusing on the details. Well, now the details are becoming the devil. And President Trump has said that there are negotiations ongoing to determine how Gaza will be governed, how Hamas will be disarmed, even though Hamas has essentially refused to do so, and what will happen to aid in the Gaza Strip, another major issue. Now, it looks as though aid has been allowed into the Gaza Strip at an increased level, but we're still hearing from the United Nations that it's not nearly enough. Matt Bradley, NBC News, Tel Aviv.
Thank you very much, Matt, for that report. We now want to turn to your weather forecast again today. Enjoying the sunshine. We missed out on most of the day yesterday. We thought again we'd get that cloud cover out of the area a little bit sooner than it actually happened. But hey, you know what? Good things happen to those who wait. Right now, again, we are looking at beautiful blue skies across Washington. Do you want to say good morning to Billy George and Emerald Isle? Thank you so much for tuning in. As far as the air temperatures go, not really matching up with our sky conditions. You know, you get into the cloudy weather, you know, you anticipate being a little bit cooler, but once the clouds clear, you hope to really warm up. Northerly winds are doing a really good job of keeping that from happening today, and those are going to be sticking around because an area of high pressure that's going to help keep us sunny and clear will also encourage more of that northerly flow over eastern North Carolina through the next few days. So you can tell just by looking at your visible satellite, seeing the clouds around the Outer Banks continuing to move from the north to the south, that again, that flow is consistent throughout eastern North Carolina. Not a whole lot of change there. Air temperatures right now, most of us in the low to mid 60s. We do have a few of the upper 50s still being reported closer to the Virginia line. 59 degrees right now in Roanoke Rapids, 58 in Ahoskie. The rest of eastern North Carolina's reporting stations all coming in at 60 degrees or warmer. Highest temp right now, 64 degrees. That's being reported through Hatteras, Beaufort, Jacksonville, and Kenansville. But winds, again, still breezy out there. Looking generally at around 10 to 15 mile per hour sustained winds out of the north. The direction is consistent. It's a wind speed that really is not, but everybody's going to be feeling the breeze at times today, some more than others. But again, not seeing a whole lot of change in those wind speeds, even as we head into tomorrow. Still going to be a breezy day as we head towards Friday. Coming up for this afternoon, air temperatures reaching the mid to upper 60s. It might be difficult to actually reach the upper 60s. Right now, we've got your high set at around 66 degrees. It is going to again be feeling warm when you're in the sun, but when you get in that shade, you'll definitely be able to feel that cooler air. And when that sun sets, coming up later on tonight, yeah, it's going to feel even cooler. Keep those jackets handy, especially if you're doing any tailgating during or before the Pirate game. If you're, heading out after the game, you're certainly going to want to have a jacket. And if you're staying through all four quarters, I would highly suggest having something warm to put over you, or maybe a seat cushion if you're sitting on the bleachers. As far as your big picture satellite radar goes, again, high pressure is the name of the game here in the east over the next several days. But keep your eye on that system further back towards the west, as that's going to be the next system that brings rain to the region. Expect that to happen coming up late Sunday evening, Sunday night, exiting the area as we head into Monday morning. There you can see that extra low pressure system forming on the backside of that cold front. That's what will give it the range to extend down into eastern North Carolina. But I do want to caution you that band of storms you're seeing across Missouri and into Illinois associated with that front, they're going to be dealing with much more, I would say, turbulent weather than what we will experience here in eastern North Carolina. The reason being is as those showers and storms, really downpours, move over the mountains are going to chew up a lot of that rain and really kind of wreck the structure of that cold front. So we're going to be getting kind of the leftover version of that, much more tame as it moves across eastern North Carolina than what it will do for those of our neighbors watching around the Mississippi River Valley. As far as the air temperatures go, we're going to be experiencing kind of the pattern of fall. Cold fronts coming in. We'll have several over the next really 8 days. Here's the first cold front rolling in. In fact, we actually had one last night, so I guess you could call this the second one if you're keeping track for the week. But this one coming in Sunday night into Monday morning. There's that cold air making its presence felt. Another one will flow in late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, and that will be followed up by yet again another cold front as we head into Friday night into Saturday night. Now, I know those aren't shown on your full 8-day forecast, but I do want to highlight the fact that we are getting into this pattern of cold fronts rolling through. Now, none of the fronts so far have really had enough moisture to create any sort of severe weather potential. We are looking at warmer weather coming up on Sunday than what we'll experience certainly today and tomorrow. Saturday, mid-70s, Sunday, upper 70s. Wouldn't be completely shocked if maybe a few of us made it into the low 80s on Sunday. That might be a bit difficult for some, but others, I think, closer towards Jacksonville, Kenansville, Wallace, possibly even Kinston, could see maybe a little bit more warmth than the rest of eastern North Carolina. Regardless, again, rain showers roll in Sunday night into Monday morning, and then again Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, keeping that roller coaster of air temperatures flowing across eastern North Carolina. Well, that's all we have time for today's 11 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Do want to say good morning to Barry Howard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you're having an awesome start to your Thursday. Now we'll be back with more news and weather right here on the First Alert Desk coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have again a great Thursday. We'll see you back here in just a bit.